Time is 6:15. Here's the news edited by Anjana Dangoda, read by Victor Raj. Here are the headlines of the local news. The President says Saleh-Bernard-Colombo Express train service to commence from September 15th. The Prime Minister on official visit to China arrives in city of Kunming. Gazette issuing import restrictions on vehicles used for public transport. Free solar power for 25,000 low-income families. Applications for making examiners call online. Foreign news, Typhoon Lanka makes landfall in Japan. Thousands urge to seek safety. Sports news, Special Investigation Unit established under the Prevention of Offences Relating to Sports Act. Local news in detail. President Ranil Wickremesinghe said today an express train service between Saleh-Bernard and Colombo will begin from September 15th. Speaking to the devotees at Madhu Church in Mannar, the President said a TNA MP played a significant role in resuming the express train service. The President also revealed that the government had approved the setting up of a sugar factory in Vanni. TNA MP Selvam Adeklanathan was instrumental in getting this project on track. President Wickremesinghe added, "We must make use of the sunlight, wind and trees in this area. Therefore, we have begun the initial discussions to start a project to set up solar panels on the Poonarin tank. The north will be center of power supply by 2040. The head of state said Madhu is an indigenous religious festival. Therefore, it can be considered as a national event. The government therefore will assist the church to develop this historic place of worship." Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena, who left Colombo Monday evening for Yunnan province in China, arrived at the Kunming in the morning to commence a 4-day official visit to China. The Prime Minister's office said the Premier was warmly received at the airport by Vice Chairman of the CPPCC Yunnan Province Committee Zhao Jin, Protocol Chief and other senior officials and charged affairs at Sri Lanka Embassy, K.K. Yoganathan and other officials of the mission. Prime Minister Gunawardena will be the chief guest at the 7th China South Asia and the 27th China Kunming Import and Export Exhibition, jointly hosted by the Chinese Ministry of Commerce and the Yunnan Provincial Government. The expo will be held from August 16th to 20th in Kunming, China. Kunming, the modern capital city and transportation hub of China's southern Yunnan province, has a large student population and a temperate year-round climate. According to expo organizers, 60 countries will participate in the gigantic trade display. They include all South and Southeast Asian countries and are ECP member countries. The expo is held under the theme Solidarity and Coordination for Common Development. Existing restrictions on the importing of motor vehicles have been eased by way of an extraordinary gazette issued by the Ministry of Finance. Accordingly, existing import restrictions on motor vehicles used for public transport, including buses, lorries, tankers, bowsers and trucks, have been eased in the gazette notification in question. Meanwhile, a proposal submitted pertaining to the easing of import restrictions on several other items has also been approved by the Cabinet of Ministers. This news comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
Sri Lanka Insurance, like a father, like a mother.
Continuing with more local news, the National Housing Development Authority said that 11,000 partially completed houses have been selected for supply of solar power free under a joint project of the Urban Development and Housing Ministry and the Power and Energy Ministry. Urban Development and Housing Minister and Chief Government Whip Prasanna Ranattunga said that Cabinet approval has been obtained for providing solar power to 25,000 low-income households. These 11,000 houses have been selected from 15 projects implemented by the NHDA. In addition to the selected houses, another 14,000 houses will also be selected for provision of solar power. The Education Ministry today announced the end of the first phase of the second school term and the reopening of the second phase of the second school term. Accordingly, the first phase of the second school term of government and government-approved private schools will end this Thursday. The second phase of the second school term of these schools will begin on August 28th. That ends local news.
Listen, no fake news, false flags, it is the real thing. Breaking records, making history, you know we got the big bling. 10 billion bonus all across the island. Ka-ching! Not millions, talking billions, yeah, it is the big win.
History's highest ever sure bonus declaration for SLIC life policyholders in 2022 exceeds 10 billion rupees.
10 billion bonus gonna make your dreams come true. 10 billion bonus for you.
Sri Lanka Insurance, like a father, like a mother.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
State Minister of Finance Ranjit Siyambalapatia says the heavy vehicles imported during the restricted period and still remain unclear at ports will be released. Thereby the public transport buses and special purpose lorries, tankers, buses and trucks brought into the country while import restrictions on vehicles were still in effect and have not submitted the customs declaration can be released, subject to charges of 30% after presenting facts to the Controller General of Imports and Exports. Earlier today, the Finance Ministry issued a Gazette Extraordinary easing the limitation on importing public transport buses and the heavy vehicles for the first time since March 2020. That ends main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Watch Life is brought to you by
CIB Janajaya Vasana. Unbelievable discounts and offers throughout August from CIB Janajaya Vasana. Come today itself.
Applications for the selection of marking examiners for the Grade 5 Scholarship Examination 2023 have been called online from August 11th, the Department of Examinations announced. In a media notice, the department said the applications will be accepted until September 1st. Applications can be submitted through the Examination Department's official website www.doenets.lk, its mobile application or via onlineexams.gov.lk/EIC by using the National Identity Card number to log on. Correctly completed applications should be forwarded by the principal to the Sri Lanka Exams Department online before September 1st. Before completing the application, it is essential to read the technical instructions, common instructions, and instructions video to complete the application properly. And inquiries can be made through the following contact numbers: 1911 01127 85231, 01127 85216, 01127 84037. That ends Watchlight.
CIB Janajaya Vasana. Unbelievable discounts and offers throughout August from CIB Janajaya Vasana. Come today itself.
Moving on to world news, let's take a look at the headlines. Typhoon Lanma makes landfall in Japan. Thousands urged to seek safety. A fire at Russian gas station kills 27, injures 66. Trump indicted for racketeering over 2020 election interference. Foreign news in detail. Nearly 900 flights in Japan were cancelled and 240,000 people were ordered to move to safety as a slow-moving typhoon crossed Japan's main island of Honshu, not far from the ancient capital of Kyoto, cutting off powers to tens of thousands of homes. Typhoon Lan, approaching from the Pacific Ocean, made landfall early on Tuesday at the southern tip of Wakayama Prefecture, some 400 kilometers southwest of Tokyo, bringing heavy rain and powerful winds across a wind swept of central and western Japan as it moved north. A fire at a gas station in the southern Russian region of Dagestan killed at least 27 people, including 3 children. Interfax news agency reported early on Tuesday, citing regional emergency medics. The fire started at an auto repair shop on the roadside of a highway in Dagestani capital Makhachkala on Monday night and caused a blast as it spread to a nearby gas station, officials said. Footage posted online showed a one-story building ablaze, Reuters reported. Donald Trump was indicted Tuesday on charges of racketeering and a string of election crimes after sprawling 2-year probe into the efforts to overturn his 2020 defeat to Joe Biden in the U.S. state of Georgia. The case, relying on laws typically used to bring down mobsters, is the fourth targeting the 77-year-old Republican this year and could lead to a watershed moment, the first television trial of the former president in U.S. history. To wrap up the world news, let's take a look at the headlines once again. Typhoon Lan makes landfall in Japan, thousands urge to seek safety. A fire at Russian gas station kills 27, injures 66. Trump indicted to racketeering over 2020 election interference. That ends world news.
Development News is brought to you by
Job opportunities from Deshak, Sri Lanka in Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, Oman, including company housemaid, salary 156,000 rupees, 23 to 57 years. Contact 037 7500 500.
Sri Lanka is seriously moving with new laws which will prevent any of its future governments from backtracking bilateral and multilateral deals signed without the consent of the relevant parties involved, a government document showed. The new move comes 3 years after the government of former leader Gotabaya Rajapaksa unilaterally cancelled several bilateral and multilateral deals, including East Container Terminal and light railway transport project, and resulted in diplomatic hiccups with India, Japan, and the US and Singapore, government officials say. That ends development news.
Job opportunities for women from Deshak, Sri Lanka in Saudi Arabia, Kuwait and Oman. Company housemaids, caretakers and home cooks in Saudi Arabia for ages 23 to 57 years. Salary starting from 156,000 rupees. Interviews are now on with foreign agents. You can now travel overseas free of charge. Branches: Colombo, Kurunegala, Anuradhapura and Matara. Contact number 037 7500 500. Deshak, Sri Lanka Foreign Development Agency.
Moving on to sports news, Minister of Sports and Youth Affairs Roshan Ranasinghe has appointed a special investigation unit under the Prevention of Offences Relating to the Sports Act. Accordingly, Assistant Superintendent of Police W.A. Jayantha Ranasinghe has been appointed as the Director Head of the Special Investigation Unit. The extraordinary gazette in this regard has been issued by Minister of Sports and Youth Affairs Roshan Ranasinghe on Monday. The Gazette notification states that members will serve for a period of 3 years to be effective from the 15th of February 2023, as per the Section 21 of the Prevention of Offence Relating to Sports Act No. 24 of 2019. The unit has been established for the practical execution of the legal provisions of the Act and proceed in line with the powers and functions assigned by the Prevention of Offences Relating to Sports Act. That ends Sports News.
Go ekak thiyana youth eකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු ගින හැබැ කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all new NSB Ithru Mithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Arunalu Sittam, the island-wide children's art competition conducted by the Commercial Bank of Ceylon, has been launched for the 4th year, and the bank has announced its opening the competition to Sri Lankan children currently living overseas, a new category. The bank said for children between the age of 4 and 16, the competition is hosted under the banner of the bank's popular children's savings account, Arunalu, and will be conducted online this year for the 3rd time. That ends Business News.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go ekak thiyana youth එකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු ගින හැබැ කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all new NSB Ithru Mithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
Moving on to economic news, the Sri Lankan rupee has depreciated against the US dollar today compared to yesterday, the Central Bank of Sri Lanka reported. Accordingly, the buying rate of the US dollar has increased from 313 rupees and 99 cents to 314 rupees and 72 cents, while the selling rate has also increased from 326 rupees and 88 cents to 328 rupees and 2 cents. The rupee has slightly depreciated against a basket of foreign currencies, including Gulf currencies. That ends economic news.
Weather report.
Except for few showers in western and suburban provinces and in the Galle and Mathura districts, mainly fair weather will prevail elsewhere over the island. Fairly strong winds, about 40 to 45 km per hour, can be expected at times in northern, north central and northwestern provinces, and in the Trincomalee, Hambantota and Montagra districts. That ends weather report. To wrap up the evening news broadcast on Radio Sri Lanka, let's take a look at the headlines once again. The President says Talebana Colombo Express train service to commence from September 15th. The Prime Minister on official visit to China arrives in the city of Kunming. Gazette issued easing import restrictions on vehicles used for public transport. Free solar power for 25,000 low-income families. Applications for marking examiners called online. Foreign news, Typhoon Lan makes landfall in Japan. Thousands urged to seek safety. Sports news, Special Investigation Unit established under the Prevention of Offences Relating to Sports Act. With that, we wrap up the evening news broadcast on Radio Sri Lanka.